So we talked about this recently.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to revisit it in video form.
All right.
And it was your little tale about your beloved McDonald's toy from childhood.
Oh yeah, man. The McNugget-a-saurus.
Yeah.
Look, man, if you're a McDonaldite, if you like McDonald's, you know that as a child is usually when people love McDonald's the most. The Happy Meal is like an intrinsic part of your life as a kid.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's still a thing with kids, but
I feel like it's
certainly
not.
was then.
Yeah, I feel like it's not.
Yeah, I think kids nowadays are just like more like it's not on the phone. I don't care. I may be wrong though. I don't know.
I feel like one of my greatest memories, and I hope I still have that picture. If I do, I'll insert it.
Mm-hmm.
Although we'll be showing our mom, so maybe not.
Definitely gotta show the McNugget-a-saurus.
Yes, when I was a kid, I had mad chicken pox, and it was during like the kindergarten like graduation thing, which by the way is the most pointless thing ever. And so I couldn't go have the little feast they had afterwards. And my mom and my grandma picked me up. We went to freaking McDonald's, and I had a little freaking, what's it called? Happy Meal.
Mm-hmm.
There is pictures of it, and I still have those. That was like one of my freaking memories, homie.
Yeah, for some reason, going to McDonald's as a kid
was a thing.
Back then, I don't know, again, we can't attest to now, but back then was a huge event.
Yeah.
As a kid, you were like, hell yeah, I'm not only getting some garbage that's clearly going to lead to obesity problems, but I'm getting a little toy on the side, you know. Clearly, I think a lot of it had to do with the fact that you knew that your parents knew that you thought it was special.
Yeah.
So you're like, hell yeah, and they're doing this for me, you know, which ties in right to my particular tale, because I used to, both of us really were kind of raised by our grandmother more than our mother. You know, our mother, I mean, obviously she contributed, but she, being super poor, she just basically was always working. You know, and our grandmother was our like stay-at-home mom, basically. And so that's how we grew up. So because of that, we were always around our grandmother the majority of the time. So, you know, grandmother was always hobnobbing around town. Not in a busybody kind of way. She was just a person that liked to commiserate with others.
Yeah.
So she would take us all around and stuff. And I remember one day, man, we had just come back from one of our hobnobbing tours O-Town.
I feel like you gotta call it something else. Hobnobbing sounds like something else, homie.
It definitely sounds not Mexican, so I'll grant you that. You're super Mexicans. Definitely, no Mexican is hobnobbing.
I feel like anything with a knob in it should just not be used.
Or a hob.
Damn, homie, hot hob?
Had-on? Anyway, a reference nobody will get. Nope. So anyway, yeah, we're headed back home. Grandmother was driving. I was a little fucking jerk sitting next to her in the passenger seat, and I was eating. I don't remember if it was a Mars bar or a Snickers, but I want to say it could have been either or. This is not important, but I feel like it's relevant.
Every time
I want to say it was Snickers because Snickers is my favorite bar.
Every time you've told me the story, it's a Snickers.
Well, that's my go-to because Snickers is my favorite bar. So logically, it stands to reason that I would be eating a Snickers. However, there's a part of my mind that always says maybe it was a Mars bar, because I remember distinctly when I chewed it. I'm a fast eater, so I remember chewing and going and just swallowing. Anyway, I definitely don't like Mars bars that much.
I feel like I've never seen a Mars bar in person.
You've definitely seen a Mars bar.
Nah.
Every now and then I give a Mars bar a shot, and though I don't hate them anymore.
Where the hell are you seeing Mars bars?
They're everywhere. What are you talking about?
Dude, I have never seen a Mars bar in person.
I will definitely show you a Mars bar right in front of your face next time we're around one, and you probably ignore it on purpose because it's a Mars bar.
No,
but
it's
anyway,
not zero.
I feel that I was eating a Mars bar that day. Like I decided to buck the system and then fate kick me in the face. That's what I feel at the back of my head.
It's like every time I try a Butterfinger, I'm like, damn.
Yeah, you regret it. I feel that that's what happened. Like I went against Snickers and fate reached out and punched me in the nuts. This is what I feel happened. But anyway, Snickers or Mars, whatever. I was biting into this candy, and I don't know if it was because I was chewing it abnormally long. Longer than I normally do anyway, or a combination of that and the fact that grandmother at that time kind of like swerved a little bit. I'm not talking like an insane swerve. It was literally like just one of those little mini blips. Whatever the case, this fucking chunk of bar went down the wrong pipe. And it wasn't even like a, oh shit, you know, sometimes you can catch that and you're like, trying to fucking spit it out. God. No, this was a straight up, somehow it was like 10 feet in my lung all of a sudden. You know? It had like just straight up fucking spelunked down into my fucking lung, dude.
It gave you a silly lung.
Yeah, it really did, man. So I immediately went into a coughing fit so bad that my grandmother actually almost crashed because she was like, holy shit, what the fuck? So she had to pull off the road, right? And I remember my abject panic at not being able to breathe. Mm-hmm. Like, I was like, holy shit, what the fuck is this? And she was panicking. According to her, I was already changing colors, you know, all that shit. So being a grandmother or you know, just...
Oh, yeah, it's a classic.
If you could be you know, you've heard the story of a mother and a baby under a car and she'll lift the car with superhuman might. Well, imagine that with a throat. Somehow, against all physics, my grandmother jammed her entire fucking gnarled hand,
witch's claw,
which is her ag claw, into my throat and literally fished out the fucking piece. And keep in mind, I was a tyke back then. I was small, you know? And she fished out that shit
pretty
from deep in the recesses of my lung. She fished that fucking chunk of Mars bar or whatever the fuck it was out, man. And then, you know, saved me, man. Mm. And I was like, holy shit, I just almost died. And she was all crying and shit. And, you know, so what happened? How does this tie into McDonald's? Well, here's the thing, man. Because of that incident, I became incredibly traumatized for a short while, at least, about the very idea of putting anything in my mouth.
How old were you?
I don't know, man. I must have been maybe 6, 7, somewhere around there. I was relatively young. Yeah. So, yeah, man, I became super, super afraid of the idea of eating, much less putting anything in my mouth. And they tried, man. And I don't know how long this lasted. You know how time is so kind of intangible when you're a kid. I don't know how long this lasted, but I remember being super hungry. And you know, they would make a meal and they would put it in front of me and they would be looking at me like, please eat, you know. It wasn't a like eat already thing. It was like a please eat. We're worried. And I remember crying, man, because I couldn't bring myself to eat it. But it was more the fact that they were looking at me concerned and I couldn't, you know. I was like sad that I couldn't, at least for their sake. So anyway, that's when they broke out the big guns, baby.
Homie.
They said, we're going to McDonald's.
Damn.
And again, even though I was traumatized in the state of mind,
you were still like, damn.
I was like, holy shit, we're going to McDonald's? Fuck yeah.
That little burg.
The fucking McNugget-a-saurus is out.
Were you up to date when those was out?
In fact, you know what? You could probably pin how old I was if you find out when the McNugget... Although they re-release that all the time, so I don't know. I don't know when in the McNugget-a-saurus lineage
lore
or chronology I went. But anyway, the point is the McNugget-a-saurus was a thing. I keep calling him the McNugget-a-saurus because that's what I called him as a kid, but it's the McNugget-a-saurus. Anyway, was out and I had to get my hand on him. Yeah. So I was like, oh, cool, man. The excitement overwhelmed my fear.
Hold on. I gotta clear this up. Were you actually aware that the McNugget-a-saurus was out?
Oh, I was aware, baby.
Damn, homie.
I wanted one animal, and it was the McNugget-a-saurus. There was other transforming dino foods, but the McNugget-a-saurus is what I was after.
Why?
If I could ever find another McNugget-a-saurus, I would be very happy because I lost this one, which I had for years.
Yeah.
Years, man. In fact, the only reason it's gone is because I was arrested and half my shit disappeared. So, I don't know where it went. But anyway.
I had that shitty fry.
Yeah, you had the fry. I hated the fry, man.
Damn, homie. You should have got my fry.
McNugget-a-saurus is where it's at. But anyway, the fry was from another line.
Yeah, it was from the robot line.
Yeah. I don't want that shit. I want McNugget-a-saurus. Anyway, so they say we're going to McDonald's. Surely in their mind, they're like, this is the way he's going to eat. What kid, says logic, says no to McDonald's? And they were right. I was like, hell yeah, let's go. So We go to McDonald's,
Put your
man.
little bib on.
They didn't even go to like a nearby McDonald's. They went to like some McDonald's, which in my kid mind was
highfalutin.
yeah, this is a highfalutin McDonald's, man. Should I slap a tux on? Is this where we're going? Of course, it was just a fucking McDonald's that happened to be in, on the way. But I didn't know that as a kid. So we go to this McDonald's. They commandeer like this big ass booth that's clearly for families that are large.
Hell yeah.
And I'm like, damn, this is special. Again, in my mind, I was like, this is super special, right? So yeah, they get their little food, and then they're like, here's your fucking Happy Meal, man. Of course, that box as a kid is like, holy shit, you don't even want to destroy the box.
Damn, they still had the boxes back then?
Yeah, they had the boxes.
My time it was the bag, dude.
Nah, it was a straight
and then
up
occasionally there'd be like that special toy that would bring back the box.
Yeah, this was always box time.
Damn, homie.
So yeah, I had
was it that red box?
No, I remember there was something on the box. I just can't remember what it was.
Like a puzzle.
I remember you would punch out part of it, and it would be like a little playhouse or whatever the fuck. But anyway, so they hand me this box, and I'm like admiring the box. And it's not even that I'm trying to...
It's so weird, because I used to do that too!
It wasn't even that I was trying to stall the eating process.
I was like, look at this box,
Yeah,
dude.
I was still in the awe of the fucking Happy Meal. I was like, hell yeah. Look at all this cool shit on it that sucks, clearly. Look at these corny ass jokes that I gotta read the solution to in the bottom.
Grimace was stalking around the corner.
Yeah, dude, Grimace is kind of creepy. But anyway, that's beside the point. The point is, I'm looking at this fucking box, amazed, and they're like, clearly like, I hope this is it right here, right? And they go ahead and eat. So then now the gavel fucking drops on my dread. Now I realize that McDonald's is not enough for me to consume anew. And I'm like, oh shit. My throat literally tightens and everything, man. But I reach in and I take it out. And I remember that when they asked me, because you could like select a burger or I forgot what the fucking
Nuggets,
other thing.
I think.
Nuggets, yeah. Then I said that I didn't want either of them. So they actually asked the cashier if they could put I remember it was a chicken or a fish sandwich. It was one of the two. Because in my kid mind, I said if it's not something I normally eat,
it'll be fine.
I will probably be able to eat it. I'll defy my fear that way, right? So they had actually gone out of their way to put either a chicken. Let's say it's a chicken sandwich, and that's what was in there. And I was like, hell yeah, I'm gonna beat this beast, right? So I unwrap it, and I realize I'm not gonna be able to eat this, right? And I sat there, and I remember mom especially, like rubbing my back and like kind of like telling me it's okay, you can eat it, but I couldn't, dude. I couldn't, and I was like, what the fuck is this? And I looked over at the McNugget-a-saurus, which hadn't been unwrapped yet, by the way. It was in those clear bags.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, I'm not worthy of this McNugget-a-saurus, man. And I was like heartbroken that, again, in my kid logic, I was like, they went out of their way to bring me to the mecca of fooddom. And I can't even eat this for them. And I remember bowing my head in defeat as I held this fucking burger and realizing that the McNugget-a-saurus would never be mine because of my abject failure. And
did they ask specifically for the McNugget-a-saurus?
No, I just happened to get the McNugget-a-saurus.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, it's a good thing you asked that because, that was kind of a big deal too. When I opened it, I reached in, I took it out, and I was like, holy shit, I got the McNugget-a-saurus. Hell yeah. But now I gotta eat this thing, So anyway, I remember sitting there in just wallowing in my abject failure, and I broke into tears, which you might think that's fucking annoying, but I don't think so. This is different, man. Sometimes you see a kid crying in public, you're like, shut up. This was like legit, like
sad tears.
Damn, dude, something went wrong, It wasn't like, oh, I'm not getting my way. No, it wasn't that at all. It was like, damn, homie. I was sad, dude. I was heartbroken that I couldn't do this for them.
Yeah.
And forget the McNugget-a-saurus at that point. I was just like, damn it. I can't. And then, in the midst of my utter sorrow, my mom goes, it's okay. And she takes the sandwich away, and she puts it down, and she slides that McNugget-a-saurus in front of me. And I'm looking at it like, damn, homie. I know this means nothing to anyone, but to me as a kid, I was like, damn. Oh, man. My little kid heart broke, man. I was like, damn, I didn't even do it. And they still gave me the McNugget-a-saurus. So anyway, I opened that McNugget-a-saurus, ripped into it, if you will. And
you ate that.
Yeah, I was so happy to have the McNugget. I must have transformed that bitch like 1,000 times because them joints were all floppy by the end. And yeah, man, I was like, damn. And I remember on the ride home looking at my little McNugget-a-saurus and thinking, I'm going to eat. I don't care what it takes. I'm going to eat. And I don't know how long after that it took, but I remember sitting a few times and being like, I got to eat, man. And then eventually one day I did. By the way, what it was that finally made me eat was...
was it corn dogs?
No, it wasn't corn dogs.
It was shocking.
It was, you know, like those shells, pasta? You know, they just cook as shell pasta. That's it. They don't put anything else other than like tomato sauce in it, maybe. Yeah. That's it. That's what it took. And that's because it was so small. You'd think that would make it scarier. Yeah. But I was like, I felt like I could safely eat it. And then I realized, oh, wait a minute. It was just like this fucking thing. You know, it was just a dread in the back of my mind. But anyway, I don't know why, but that event, or I should say, this set of circumstances became like this event legendary in my mind. Yeah, this legendary event. But I will say this, man, as inconsequential as that story might be to anybody else, it became like one of those defining character moments for me. Like that moment I realized that I gave a shit about what other people thought. Not in that, you know, way that some people unfortunately curb their behavior to, but in that, like, damn, I want to do something for someone way. And a selfless way, I want to say almost, but that certainly wasn't the way I was thinking about it back then. But it was sad, dude. The McNugget-a-saurus rained sorrow in my life.
Damn, homie.
I will say that not long after that, I got my jaw stuck in the handle of a cup. You know, like how cups usually have that rounded handle.
Yeah. Oh, what?
Well, this cup had more of an axe style handle.
Damn, homie.
You know, it protruded out at the corners, and I had stuck the cup handle sideways in my mouth, and then slowly cranked it.
Yeah, why?
And then it was too wide for my kid mouth. So it got stuck in my fucking mouth.
Why'd you do that?
I don't know. I was an idiot kid.
Man, that's dumb, homie.
I was literally stuck with my fucking jaw.
What'd you do?
Wide. Well, they had to cut. Well, they tried a many approach. No, they tried. Well, thankfully not. They tried moving it, which it wasn't, because they were like, "Damn, we're gonna shatter his fucking teeth." They tried buttering it, the classic Mexican approach. Clearly, that didn't work. I remember they brought one of their friends over, like, what do we do, man? You know? They ended up cutting a piece of the handle so that it could actually bend down and they could
it was like plastic?
Out. Yeah, it was a green, I remember that it was a green plastic cup.
I was picturing like glass, homie. Oh, you know what I was picturing?
It would probably been easier if it was glass.
Full circle, I was picturing those Batman Forever McDonald's cups.
Oh, yeah, you know how that handle was like that?
Yeah, that's what I was picturing.
That's kind of like what that handle was like. But, yeah, I got that stuck in my fucking... Also, around the same time, I was swinging on a swing outside that we had on a tree. And, you know, because poor-ass Mexicans, so we didn't have cool, normal swings. We just had a tree swing. And I know what you're thinking. Tons of people have tree swings. You have to be poor. No, trust me, this was not a good swing, dude. The seat did not stay stable. It spun even when you were sitting on that bitch. Case in point, I sat on it, didn't even get to swing once. That sucker spun and literally bashed my head into the floor. And in my kid memory, I was like, damn, my head split open. I don't know about all that. Although, if it split my skull open, that explains a lot. But for sure, it split my fucking wig. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you have to pick the wig off the floor.
Yeah, I remember that they called the same friend. They called the same friend over. They called the same friend over. It was a girl. They called the same friend over, and I remember them, like, you know, being like
they're trying to put Humpty Dumpty back together.
Yeah, basically they were looming over my head, like talking in hushed tones, and I was like, oh fuck. And because we were poor and super Mexican. We didn't go to the hospital. They just kind of let it heal.
Mm.
And you know what? To this day, I don't even know if I have any like scar back there. I've never even. Have you ever
I don't
noticed?
think so.
No,
Not that I've noticed.
I know that it was right here, like at the back of the head. And I remember eventually it healed, but for the longest time, I wore those massive ass band-aids
Damn.
on my head to
At
school.
least you had a band-aid. I had a freaking straight maxi pad on my arm when I cut it.
Hey man, I could have used the maxi pad. That sucker was deep.
Damn.
Anyway, I was apparently a stupid kid.
So, anyway, that was the McNugget-a-saurus tale.
Mm-hmm.
I do have something to present to you.
All right, dude. No way, dude. Did you get a McNug? How do you open it? Apparently, I can't even figure out a box.
Yeah, homie, what the hell? Retarded? Shit.
Yeah, dude. Well, dude, it's bigger than I remember.
What, you think it was this big?
Dude, look. This is a thing that's happened to us recently. You purchased some Playmates toys. And, when you were a kid in the 80s and 90s, Playmates toys were a big part of your life if you were a toy kid. Ninja Turtles, Toxic Crusaders. You recently bought some, and I was like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah, they're like this big.
These are way small. Because I was a kid, they looked big to me.
Yeah.
I remember this being small. This is fucking big, dude. Even for my size right now. So there's a McNugget, a box, classic McNugget box. It used to be styrofoam, which clearly destroyed the environment.
Oh, yeah.
And then you transform that dude by flipping it. There's a little dome piece. Little tail back here.
Yeah, I think he looks more like a little alligator.
He's like a plesiosaur or some shit. I know that the names on the little list, it said McNugget-a-saurus.
Yeah, so when I looked for this, I actually looked for McNugget-a-saurus. And there just happens to be a guy on eBay that has like
10 million?
Yeah, has like a stock of all of them. And you just have to like order the right one. I'm not proud of how much I paid for this.
Oh, man.
But this is probably the most expensive tiny thing I've gotten.
Damn, homie.
And by that I mean it was like around, I don't know, $15, I think.
Damn, worth it. For me, anyway.
McNugget-a-saurus,
For you,
dude.
it's like, damn it.
Yeah, I was like, damn, McNugget-a-saurus? So I was also gonna get my, this was gonna be the topic of the video, or weird childhood,
Size comparison?
freaking, worst, an abnormally small shot glass, our freaking, childhood, Happy Meal toys, except I did not want to pay what they're asking for my piece of shit toy.
What was your toy?
I remember my piece of shit holy grail toy that I never got, with no cool backstory, was that shitty Inspector Gadget toy.
Oh, yeah, you were obsessed
Because
with building. It was
I
a
was
build-a-figure, huh?
freaking obsessed with building that shit. And you gotta, like you said,
You gotta put some pics up of that.
it was an event back then to go to McDonald's, so it was rare. So I would get these shits like secondhand. So by the time I was collecting this was like 50 years after Inspector Gadget came out. So I was just getting these secondhand. So I had like 85 legs, dude, and like one arm.
And nobody wanted the leg,
I was
apparently.
like, damn, homie, you got 50 legs.
You could have made a cool leg guy, I guess.
So I always wanted a freaking complete Inspector Gadget. I almost got it just for the video, but I was like, I do not want this.
How much were they asking?
It was like $30 or something, but I don't know. I want that.
On the plus side, you had some extra legs around in case they gypped you on that.
Damn, homie. Why they didn't keep them?
You still have legs somewhere, you know it.
If I remember correctly, like one of the hands had like a, because that was the gimmick. Like each piece had like a gadget. One of them had like a little telescope, I think. They sucked, dude. And I remember, but as a kid, I remember I was like, damn, these are cool. And like the idea of having a complete Inspector Gadget was cool.
And the full disclosure, it's not just because it was a McDonald's toy. You actually liked the movie, or I don't know if you liked it, but you watched it a lot.
I feel like I never liked it, but I used to watch it so much.
Yeah.
So that was a thing that I
was
used
a
to
thing
do.
in your childhood where you just watched things because they were available to you.
Yeah, like E.T.
Yeah, which now
Like,
you hate.
I don't remember anything from Inspector Gadget at all, except for at one point, there's goons outside of, and this might not even be from Inspector Gadget, it's just what I remember. There's goons outside of a place, and there's a Yahoo billboard. That's all I remember. Because I knew Yahoo from when you got your stupid computer.
I remember that my foe, my lifetime nemesis, Matthew Broderick was in it.
Yeah, he was.
Which I hate.
Oh, and also I remember at one point Claw pushes a button in his claw and then like extra strength crushes something. That's it.
Damn, that's the worst parts of the movie too. Nope, best parts probably.
Yeah, probably.
Movie sucks.
So I refuse to get that shit.
As well you should, because then you'd be, buying a Matthew Broderick figure.
Yeah, dude.
McNugget-a-saurus, though, totally worth it.
He was pretty big, dude. I remember those shits being tiny.
Right? I remember this being small. The fries are small.
The fry I remember being really small. But they're the same size.
That's crazy, man. No wonder I loved this thing as a kid, more so than the fact that it was a McNugget dinosaur. I was like, hell yeah, I got a big ass McNugget container, I guess.
Well, that is kind of cool. Weirdly, like if I had a little Big Mac one, that would be rad.
Right?
I like small things.
I remember the Big Mac Transformer one. That one sucked. Face licked.
Oh, it was like the actual burger, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It had a hideous face. I remember that.
Yeah, it did.
The dinosaurs are obviously superior is what I'm getting at. I just got to say, about McDonald's, I think the excitement of it, again, back then, I don't know about now, I think that was across the board, dude. Like, you could be a rich kid.
Yeah.
You could be a poor kid.
Definitely. I remember that shit. Like, people talking about going to McDonald's, like little kids talking about going to McDonald's and it being a cool thing.
I used to, when I was a kid, used to hang out with this rich kid named James, who was literally known as the rich kid. And he even had the little stuck-up attitude and everything. That is, the trope with bratty rich kids. And, he was equally as excited. It's like a thing.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I got McDonald's? Hell yeah. So, yeah, man. If you have any kids, are they still excited about McDonald's? I don't think it's a thing anymore.
I don't think it is, dude, because the value's not there anymore.
I think teenagers are more excited about McDonald's now than kids.
Oh, yeah.
Just because it's a hangout spot.
And yeah, it's not the same kind of thing. Like, even in their look, they've completely changed.
Yeah. Where's Ronald, man? I haven't seen Ronald in a few years.
Nah, I'm good with Ronald.
No, I know I hate him too, but
At the same time, it's a principle of the thing. Like Ronald should be there.
Yeah, clearly should be there.
But out back, maybe getting murked.
I feel like Ronald's responsible for at least 25% of our gross obesity.
Oh yeah. It's probably good that McDonald's isn't idolized like it once was.
Yeah, it's probably a good thing. Also, less Mac and me.
Oh,
anyways, let us know what your favorite McDonald's toy was and any cool memories having to do with McDonald's.
Those little nuggets that you could dress up. I remember having shit ton
those
of
are
those.
classics, man. We had a ton of those.
Yeah, dude.
Little fucking... No, it was tater tots you could dress up.
Oh, really? I thought they were nuggets.
Yeah, they were little potatoes.
Damn, that doesn't look like tater tots.
You put the little feet on them, little wigs sometimes.
Yeah. I had a Dracula one, I remember.
Yeah, I remember that.
Lost his pieces, so it was just like a...
Those would be cool to find again. I remember I used to like just taking the tater out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I didn't like the pieces.
I just had the little plastic parts.
And I would like have a bunch of them. That's weird. Anyway, this is it, guys. Hit like, share, subscribe, and those notification buttons. Yeah, me around.
This music, story times, all kinds of shit for you. Anything goes inside tonight, don't cup of corpulent juice. Movies, music, story times, all kinds of shit for you.